quite literal, when my parents moved to Florida several years back. Frank and I met when I was 8. Standing on the front stoop of his bait and tackle, I demanded he release all the minnows, claiming it was cruel and unusual punishment to keep them captive only to serve them up on the end of a fishing line. My concern did not extend to the bloodworms, because they were gross. As it turned out, Frank didn't stock minnows. My intel was clearly not good. After that, I visited him every day. He listened to me, he cared about what I had to say, and he liked me being there. He gave me the love, support, and discipline that I didn't receive at home. Even at 94 years old, he's still giving me all those things. Leaving a happy Gwen, I climb into my car and head for home, a very small cape, situated near the banks of Harrington Bay. The cedar shakes have weathered to a dove gray, the shutters are dark green, and the one chimney sits centered on the roof. Inside, everything is very light and airy, with hardwood floors and lots of natural fabrics in ivory and tans. I love my home. Frank is expecting me at 4 for an early dinner. I am hoping to entice him afterward into the dancing that is held every week in one of the community rooms. Frank has lived most of his life in Harrington, though he never married or had children. In his golden years, he has only his friends at the home, and me. I slip on my little black jersey dress and step into my heeled sandals. Trying to tame the mass of unruly chestnut-brown curls can be daunting, but tonight I managed to whip it into a knot on the top of my head. Normally, I don't bother with makeup, because not only do you have to apply it, but you have to remove it. Who needs that? But because dinner with Frank is special, I go to the trouble, darkening my eyelids to make my cyan-colored eyes really stand out, and tinting my lips pink. A glance at the clock makes me reach for my handbag. Harrington Commons is the only full-time nursing facility in Harrington. Since we don't have a large population, despite the average age of the population, there isn't really a concern about running out of space there. I wheel Frank to our table in the large dining room before getting in line for our meatloaf specials, complete with mashed potatoes and peas. We are even splurging tonight by enjoying a glass of red wine. So, what's new, Frank?
Bob broke his hip.
Bob Cantor lives under the false belief that he is 20 years old. Not even I go mountain climbing and skydiving, and I'm 29. What was it this time? Frank looks up from his meatloaf, and a grin cracks over his face.
He was doing the horizontal mambo with Claire Davis.
I nearly choke on my peas. I can't have heard him correctly. Perhaps the horizontal mambo means something else to his generation. Leaning closer to Frank so no one else overhears, I ask, "Are you saying he was having sex and broke his hip?"
Yep.
I can't help it. A visual of Bob and Claire pops into my head. Yep, there it is. The image forever burned on my brain. I don't think I want to know the details. I mutter.
Makes you wonder what kind of force the man had to be exerting to break a hip.
Frank! He isn't at all contrite as he laughs and scoops up some mashed potatoes.
I can't help it. I know you won't go there. Oh, and I took your suggestion and watched that show you recommended.
And?
I liked it.
Those Winchester boys are just about the coolest.
What's new with you, Saffron?
I'm handling crowd control for the Swordfish Festival.
You hate swordfish.
I know, but Chastity asked, so how could I say no? Frank's dark gaze spears me from across the table.
Easy. No.
Not easy. I've blown off every request in the last year, and as Chastity points out, we young folk have a responsibility to our community. Frank snorts.
Chastity Forrester is pushing 60. She is not a young folk.
Honestly, in this town, she pretty much is. He thinks on this for a minute, then shrugs his shoulders.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then he sort of zones out, like he has a tendency to do, and I wonder what he's thinking about. I've asked him about these odd silent spells, but he just dismisses the